It only took me 3 videos to figure out that my microphone works better when I talk into it. So, sorry about that. If you can't really hear me that well in the other videos, I apologize. I'm still trying to figure this YouTube thing out. I'm trying my best. So, yes, bear with me as I figure this stuff out. So, I feel like I know I'm not an official famous YouTuber yet, but I feel like I'm getting there because I finally understand what those other YouTubers mean when they say they recorded a whole segment of something and they realized it wasn't recording or the sound didn't work or something like that. Because that just happened to me. And let me tell you, it is very frustrating. So I have to do it again, but that's totally fine. It's okay. Roll with the punches. So meeting people where they are at. I work in mental health and we have clients, and we always talk about meeting people where they are at. So I kind of want to give a definition on what that means and how important it is to do that with our friends and our family. So basically, it means what it says, meeting someone where they're at. So you may have a friend or a family member who you see their potential, you see everything they can do, and you're like, you tell them, oh my gosh, you can do anything you set your mind to. Like, you can be a doctor, or you can quit smoking, you can quit drinking, you can travel, you deserve a better relationship, you can have a better woman, a better man. And you see it in them, but they don't necessarily see it for themselves just yet. And so they don't take that step to quit drinking, quit smoking, or apply for that job or move out or whatever it is that they want to do. They don't do it. They just talk about it or they complain about it, and you tell them, you can do it, and you kind of almost get frustrated, like, come on, don't you see it? But meeting someone where they're at is basically knowing that they can do all this and seeing it for them, but knowing that they're not ready yet, or they have their reasons for not doing it yet, and it's their choice. So just because you can see that in someone doesn't mean you should force someone or push someone to do things that they aren't ready to do or don't want to do yet. Because even if you can see it in them, I mean, I'm sure we've all been there where someone's told us those things and we're like, no, I'm not ready yet. Or you do decide to do it and someone forced you to do it, or you felt pressured to do it and you realize you weren't ready and you should have never done that in the first place. So it's basically meeting someone where they're at and giving them that space to have their own autonomy, to have make their own choices about their life, and not necessarily, telling them that you think they deserve better, but recognizing that they may not be there in their journey yet. So if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. So these are some things I wrote down that's just important to recognize when you're kind of in this situation where you want someone to make a change and they're not ready or they don't do it. So you can't force someone to see the light. You can give them advice and show them the way, but they have to go on certain journeys on their own. Telling people what to do sometimes pushes people away. For example, like, this is a very just general example. Someone keeps drinking, they have a drinking problem, and you keep telling them to stop drinking and you nag them, and then they stop talking to you, and nagging them on something they probably already know is not going to help, and if anything, it's just going to push them further and further away from you. Even though I feel like our instinct is to tell them not to drink, but that doesn't necessarily help. And the most famous saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink it. That's exactly what I'm saying here. And whenever this happens in any type of situation, it's just a tough situation to be in. So for the example with drinking, if someone has a problem with it, that can be a very vicious cycle of seeing someone get hurt or seeing someone hurt others, and it can be draining, and it's easy to lose hope and think that it's never going to get better, or think that they're never going to quit or something like that. But I will say, never lose hope. And I am such a big believer in this now. I work in mental health and I never lose hope for my clients, ever. But I have been at a point in my life where I have lost hope before for a friend. And this is a little story time that's an example of all of this. I had a friend who was in a very, very toxic relationship, and it got to the point where I could no longer be that person's friend anymore if they were in that relationship. It was affecting me too much, and I just couldn't do the toxicity of calling me when they're not together and then calling me when they're back together and things like that. So I created the boundary of not talking to that person anymore and not having them in my life. And I explained to them why, and I was very communicative about it. And I didn't talk to that person for almost a year. It was really hard for me, and during that time I lost hope. I thought, they're never going to leave this person. They're going to be with this person forever, and that's it. And I'm never going to talk to them again. And I know that's very dramatic of me to think, but I really did think that, and I lost hope. And I remember another person close to me told me, I have hope. Like, I've not lost hope. I know that they'll come back. And so, lo and behold, the universe definitely proved me wrong, because they left that relationship and I got my friend back, and now we're closer than ever. So I feel a little bit guilty for losing hope, because I do this with my clients. I never lose hope with them. So why would I lose hope with a friend? And I think that I lost hope because it was a little closer to home. And it was easier for me to kind of cut that off and be like, nope, that's it. Like, I'm just going to grieve the relationship and that's it. But it's important to never lose hope, because once you've lost hope, then that's it. You don't have anything. And that's why in our job, they tell us as case managers, as mental health counselors, never lose hope. And if your clients have lost hope, then hold the hope for them and tell them that you're holding their hope for them. Because once they think that all hope is lost, then that's when it's really bad, and that's not good at all. So that's basically a prime example of just how tough a situation can be and how bad it can get, to the point where you have to kind of cut that person off. So meeting people where they're at, it can be hard. It can be very, very hard. And it's not to say that you are going to enable that person. That's not what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to be like, oh, you have a drinking problem, let's go out and drink. No, like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you're going to realize that that person may not be ready to take a step in the direction of changing their life yet. Because I know we've all been there. I've been there before, where I wasn't ready to make a change yet. And it wasn't until I was ready that I decided to do it, and I made that change and I stuck with it. And it felt better knowing that it was coming from me, rather than everyone's telling me to do it and I should do it because everyone's telling me to. So I hope that everyone was able to follow along. Let me know in the comments what you think about this topic. If you want to share some stories on what you have gone through, I would love to hear. This is a judgment-free zone, and I'm really excited for the content I'm going to be creating. The next video I will be posting is a fun video. I'm going to have my life updates, it's not so heavy. And yeah, I'm gonna be creating a lot more videos. I took a really long break for summer because I was out summering, and now I'm back to making videos, and I want to be more consistent. And I know I say this all the time, but I really do. So yeah, let me know what you think about this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.